Hi everyone, this is OC from Digital Adventures. Got another great project for you today. This is how to create a scrolling background with a parallax effect. What parallax means is that something in the foreground is moving faster than something in the background. And so essentially this project has a couple different layers. Let me show you how this works. So I'm going to click on full screen. I'm going to click on the green flag. And what you'll notice is that the very background with the light blue and the sun is not moving at all. The middle ground is actually moving at a fairly consistent rate. And then we have Scratchy the cat walking on grass. It's actually not moving at all. And so what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to create this in about 5 minutes or less. So let's exit out of here. Let's stop. And what we're going to do first is let's clear out this existing code. Scratchy as well. And so first I want to show you what we did on this background here. What we essentially drew is just a green thing with some oscillating waves on it. We drew a thing of grass. It basically is just a large rectangle. And then on the backdrop, what we did is we did a large blue rectangle, and then we drew a yellow sun. So let's go ahead and coat this up. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on that background. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into events. We're going to get ourselves a when green flag clicked. We're going to go into control. We're going to get ourselves a forever loop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a clone of ourselves. And then we're going to add a wait block. So we're going to have this clone be created every 1.2 seconds. You can obviously modify this based on how you do your drawing. One of the key things to remember is that we want this edge piece at the right and the left hand side to be about the same height. That's going to create a little more smoothness in here. When we're going to go back into control and we're going to say what's going to happen when I start as a clone. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to have this go to an XY position in motion. Instead of it just being a fixed position, what we're going to do is we're going to do a pick random, and we're going to have this vary between negative 120 and 240. That's going to create a little variation. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back to control. We're going to grab ourselves a repeat loop. We're going to vary this by 100. And then what we're going to do is, because we want this background moving from right to left, what we're going to do is we're going to have it move a negative 3.125 steps. And these are numbers that you can modify based on what you draw. And then what we're going to do finally is we're going to delete the clone. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into Scratchy, and we're going to grab ourselves a when green flag clicked. And the next thing that we're going to do is we want Scratchy to go to an XY position. This XY position is going to be at the left-hand side of the screen, so we're going to say negative 194, negative 127. And then what we want to do is we always want Scratchy to be at costume 1. So the great thing about Scratchy is it's got a walking movement built into the costumes. Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves a forever loop. We're also going to nest an if-then conditional statement in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have Scratchy move and switch between costumes. So we're going to start off with the switch to costume 1 just to make sure. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have Scratchy move 7 steps to traverse the background. You see that this is a positive versus a negative for the backdrop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a wait. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this 0.3 of a second. And then what we're going to have Scratchy do is we're going to switch to costume 2. And then what we're going to do is we want to know whether or not Scratchy is at the end of the screen. So we're going to check for the X position and see whether or not if it's greater than 230 or not. And if it's greater than 230, what we're going to have it do is we're going to have it reset to that XY position that we started with. And that's going to be a negative 194, negative 127. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to click on full screen and we're going to see how this works. So once again, we have that backdrop sort of going along there. And then what we can see is that once Scratchy gets to the end there, what Scratchy's going to do is reset. And we see the parallax effect where we have the light blue sky and the sun not moving at all. And we also have the foreground of the grass not moving at all. We see Scratchy reset. And so this is just a really simple way to create a scrolling background with the parallax effect. We're not using a ton of variables in here. We're just basically using sort of a guess and check sort of methodology. So hope you enjoyed this project. Hopefully you'll give us a like, a comment, or a subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.